all the holes we've made in the timeline, it was bound to split. 2 to 3 or 2 to 0 west, just know we'll never quit. 23 full years of questing to base for deaths, but that's a given. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2007. Welcome back to March 20th, 2007. We've got lots of things we're going to need to do in the future, which would benefit from having more inventory space available. Due to the absolute fiasco we had in temple trekking last time, we are now the proud owners of thousands and thousands of bits that we need to deal with here. We got pure essence, we got bowstrings, we got Terramans, and we got Harlanders. So we are training rune crafting, fletching, and herb lore, using a variety of methods. I'm going to decide exactly what we're doing with the essence and bowstrings later. For right now, we need to start working on the herb lore, because it's a slightly more time-gated situation. We're going to get some vials of water here, specifically 9, for very specific reasons, and do a lot of stuff around here in our doing. Unfortunately, there's no vials of water packs yet, so we're not going to be getting infinite numbers of those easily. So basically we need to just keep on refilling these ones over and over again, which is going to be a problem. And then we also need to unnote things, because all this stuff is noted. Typically, in old school, noting, you just use it on, and it unnotes it to fill your inventory. But the mechanic for RuneScape 3 is deposit, which is not what we need to do. So instead, I'm going to make it work for us. Never storing anything in the bank, but we have to be able to unnote things. It's not too common that we need to deal with the unnoting feature, but in this case, it's definitely a thing. Fill up the inventory with 9 Harlanders, mix the Harlander potions, which now give the token 1 herblore XP because you're doing herblore, I guess. Total amount of XP for a few things. Different, that's okay. Gets the job done. And then we make sure we don't run through buildings that should be connected. And over to the Ardoin market here, trading with the baker. Grabbing ourselves some chocolate bars. And then we grind it up. Custom mortar, knife, a bunch of things work. And make ourselves energy potions. 67.5 XP per. And we have 300 of these that we can make. Not a bad haul. And this time, we even have the correct herbs can be noted, because that's how we got them from the temple trekking rewards. Can't note herbs yet, that we just get. And then it's basically a loop like this. Can't just drop them, need to empty them all, then fill them up back with water. Go back to the bank. Unnote more Harlanders. And then continue over and over. Making sure we do the Harlanders here, because if we do the Terramans, we need to do something completely different. Because Terramans and Chocolate Dusters, not a potion. We are limited here with the chocolate bar restock. There's a few other shops and places we could go to that also have some chocolate. Should be some in the Culinarimancer chest in Lumbridge Basement. There's also a water source there, so that's not a bad spot to check. We have enough of the Harlander that we're going to need to make use of this. potentially even on multiple days here for the restocks. Another situation where we need to deal with the personalized shop update. No world hopping, but it does limit our supplies in some fashions. So, pros and cons, I suppose. Oh yeah. Not getting information of exactly how much Herbal XP this is going to be. It's at least something. I'm here for it. Empty it again. Fill it again. Making use of these convenient water sources. Ardoin really is a nice place to be. Man, I'm going to go through all this chocolate. Maybe go to other places. Scope them out at least. See how we're feeling. And once we've gotten this done to a point where we're kind of locked, might need to do other things. Having some ideas. All this pure essence, especially, is definitely going to come in handy. I had a plan for getting rune crafting to where it's going to need to be. I did not expect to be doing so soon here. But all this pure essence falls in my lap here from the mistakes. So we're going to make use of it. We just need to do a few calculations. Exactly what we want to do with it all. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. Who needs world hopping when you've got 300 chocolate bars in stock? There's plenty in here. World hopping gets you through it. All works for me. 300 chocolate bars. This is the ideal place for doing some Harlandering. Technically, we did have more than 300, so still worth getting some from Ardoin. But it's definitely shorter runs here between filling up the vials at this sink and using the RFD chest as the quote-unquote bank unnoting things. Harlanders, right here. Making them, and then going back into this store right here, grabbing a bunch of chocolate. This all would be more convenient if all this chocolate was just chocolate dust. I guess you want chocolate bars for some things, but still. In this instance, we got plenty. Once we can actually note herbs, definitely would be worth keeping Harlanders. They're not like the best experience or anything, 67.5, but just the ease of getting the secondaries. They're in just such nice locations. Also things like Irits for getting the Eyes of Newt for super attacks. Also very convenient. We need to pick our battles with Herblore, honestly. Honestly, compared to how easy this is, the Terramins are going to be more of a struggle. Because we need to get other things for that. Well, that's okay, I guess. The important part is we are going to be actually getting some Herbal XP here. At level 66 here, it's a fair amount of XP to get another level. And we're messing this up slightly. Need to get the Harlanders first. Can only go one direction. Can't do chocolate water and then add the Harlanders. That'd be something. Yeah. Any amount of Herblore XP is good Herblore XP, though. Future plans for Herblore. They exist. The question is, if we get there. That's okay. Energy potions. Love to see it. And we just keep on just dumping it all on the ground. Definitely a system here. Definitely a system. Here's the last of the Harlanders. Got through that whole stack there. Not too bad. Very good spot here. Making these potions. Total XP from the Harlanders was 22,500, which is not too shabby. It's looking like we're not going to be getting a Herblore level here, but tens of thousands of Herblore XP, it's still pretty good. Now we need to set things up for using up the Terramins, which is a very different setup here. Okay, this should work. With a Mithril Hatchet I made and Tinderbox, all taking place here in Catherby, we light fires to get ashes to make Serum 207s, which are 50 Herblore XP each, which is pretty decent. And then we run around to various sections in Catherby here. Everything exists, it's just kind of in different locations, so that's okay. Empty out the Serum 207s, fill it up in a sink. There's also a well here, but it might still be in the stages where only buckets can be filled at wells, so I'm not going to mess with that. And then, much like with the Harlanders, we go to the bank, deposit, and get them back to unnote things. And these are only a little bit less experience, or maybe more. The exact levels of things have also changed. Tarrowman potions, unfinished. And then, we go back to the fires. They seem to be taking a little bit too long to burn out. I think what we're going to need to do here is have a stream of fires going. So, chop more oak trees here, light the more fires. If we just keep going in a loop here, eventually it'll all time correctly. Don't want the ashes to despawn though, obviously. But this should work fine. On the plus side, we're also getting woodcutting and a firemaking XP. Although that does... Ooh, a bird's nest. we got a lot of... Actually, got a lot of other things we kind of want to do here with this. What are we thinking? We are woodcutting. So obviously, we should be wielding our lumberjack set. A U seed. Oh, that's also great. Okay. We got a lot going for us right now. Let me just reset some stuff here. We'll make these potions, and then we'll go get the lumberjack set, and then we'll go plant this yew tree, which is fantastic news. Happy to get some more farm XP here too. We could even go and get the rabbit foot necklace for more bird's nests, but we kind of don't want to misplace the glory currently. That'd be an extra inventory space, and that all doesn't work too well. Alright. So yeah, we just go and put on the lumberjack set here. Also, hopefully we have enough space to hold it, because we can't put the rock shell in the house and then take the lumberjack set out, because we don't have enough spaces in the armor case here. Definitely still need to get construction up. That would help quite a bit. If we get to the infinite, I guess we'd have space to put it. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We got the 4 in here. And that's why we got rid of the bomber set. Yeah, lumberjack set for bonus woodcutting XP. Put all that effort into getting it, might as well use it, I suppose. Makes sense. Let's go plant this yew seed. Gonna have to wait for that to grow slightly in the plant pot. That's fine. Absolutely worth it. 100%. Okay, so while waiting for the yew seedling to sprout, I was chopping the willow tree that I had in the farming spot, and I got another bird nest with another yew seed. Amazing. Great. Did not think I was going to be doing this much farming today. I'm okay with that. And that's the last of the Terramins. In total, there was less herbs, they give less XP, so about 10,000 XP. Did not get the Herblore level. 3/4 of the way to 67. Still decent, though. Also got an orange tree seed, which, I mean, sure, why not? Honestly, fruit tree seeds are better than the wood tree seeds, so I'll take it. We're even in a convenient location here, at a farming area. So we can get everything together. Let's go plant it over in the Catherby patch here. Convenient location. All works out. Do need to potentially get some more super compost going. A little bit low on that. Something to consider, I suppose. Oh yeah. Also might want to run around to all the different trees we're planting here. Make sure they actually grow. We're giving them the super compost treatment, but that doesn't guarantee success by any means. Oh yeah. And that is 2 inventory spaces cleaned up. All the herbivore complete. And we move on to the next section. The first step for the next step, because of course there's multiple pieces before we even get to what we're doing here. Getting the room crafting pouches from Abyssal Leeches here in the Fairy Ring Abyss area. Which is honestly a lot more chill than the regular Abyss, because we don't have a dozen things attacking us all at the same time. First, right here, 2 spawns, all works out. Also got the giant pouch here. We can't use that because that's 75 room crafting. We just get the first 3. Well, that's okay. That'll be plenty of additional essence that we can move at the same time, which is nice. Really want to maximize the amount of essence per trip, because that means less trips required to the altars. We're going to be getting all kinds of things put in all kinds of places. It's a strategy. Getting every single possible inventory space here. And that includes storing the coins up here in Miscellanea. They take the money at reset time now, so as long as we don't keep the money in here at a very specific time, we can not pay them ever. It's just a free money spot, since we're still under the limit for that by quite a bit. Going to be a little bit more than this much money though, because we are going to be high alking the Dragon Halberd. I've got some plans coming up where the Dragon Halberd is not the weapon that's going to be needed. And since we want inventory space right now, it's time. 195,000 coins. Not too shabby. Except for the fact that it costs like 325,000 coins to buy it, so it's a little shabby. Instead of the halberd, we're going to be wielding the hatchet here for potential woodcutting things. Also going to destroy the lunar staff. We can buy that back for 30k when we need it. Store here in the management section. And deposit. Just all the money. Can't afford that. Well, deposit all the money I have then. 21. And then the additional 420. There you go. So yeah. Let's all just sit in here. Not get us anything, even if we mess up and keep it in here. Oh, there you go. And now that leaves us with pure essence, the rune pouches, teleport runes, the bowstring, which we need for later, and nature runes. Because that is what we are going to be doing. Rune crafting, nature runes. Just so many. Just so many nature runes. Get the camera set up here so I can easily click on the glory. Because we're going to be teleporting here to Edgeville each time. Because we're going to be using the Abyss. Unfortunately, a lot of things are different than they should be for rune crafting here. Starting with how we're going to be getting the essence and pouches dealt with. There is supposed to be using the essence on the bank stall put it in the pouches, and be on our way. And that's not how things work anymore. Well, not how they work in RuneScape 3. So we're going to be putting the essence in here, using the fill option, taking all the essence back out in noded form, because that's how it's supposed to be. Actually, we need to take it all out. We take one out in noded form, then the rest out not in noded form. We probably just change this number to be a smaller number here. Make it like, I mean, the top's number it's going to be here is 19. But if we put only 19 in here, it's not going to work. So we put in 40. That should, in theory, work. We select noded here. Not really. We take the essence, put the essence, take all the essence, grab all the essence. Switching between the all and the X option. There's definitely options here. Just go all. That'd work too. Oh, yeah. Gonna be a little awkward instead of just using it, filling it, going. And then it's off to the wilderness. Getting that whole process streamlined is definitely going to help quite a bit. I don't think this would be a situation where bank presets would work or anything. That's okay. Into the wilderness, teleport with the Mage's Amaranth into the abyss. Where we now need to find our way in. We can chop the tendrils, we can squeeze through the gap, we can distract the eyes. So that all works out fine. Then it's into the Nature Rift up here at the north. I'm going to be generally trying to get to this direction so we can get here. The Nature Altar. And then we can just craft some nature runes. Birds are going crazy here. How's it going, bird? Birds are just flying all over the place. There's an animation stuff happening. There's a chunk of bird flying through the sky. We're not going to worry about that. Everything's fine. Everything's perfectly normal here at the Nature Altar. Craft nature runes. There's another situation where things are slightly different than they should be. Craft them. And we get quite a few changes. One, we get the achievement diary achievement there. So we're going to need to do that again once that actually exists. It's actually pretty soon. We also get 2.5 times XP for going through the abyss, which is unfortunate, because that's the wrong amount. The other options than the abyss are just way slower. We'd have to go through the fairy ring system in some description, run to the altar. We would need to get a nature talisman. We could bring the essence to the general store nearby Tabawanai and unnode it there, kinda, by selling and buying it back. Now, this is just straight up a good way of doing rune crafting. We're not going to let changes change exactly what we're doing here. One change we are going to be trying to follow through on, though, is the amount of nature runes we get. We're only 51 rune crafting, so we are nowhere close to double natures. But there still is a chance at multiple runes due to a later update. So once we're done crafting all the runes, we're going to split off the extra runes that we got, which aren't accurate, and drop those. So in total, we're going to be getting way too much XP, which is honestly fine by me. If it was the normal XP, that'd be more normal. But with this and the future other rune crafting method we've got, we should be able to get to where we need to be. In total, rune crafting is a situation. So after we make the runes, which also takes all the runes out of the pouches automatically, which is also super convenient. So many changes. Teleport back to Edgeville, where we get another change. We need to get the essence out of the bank, but going into the bank heals us. So any damage we take in the Abyss is automatically healed when we come back to get more essence. Another thing that we would be able to deal with, just teleport to Ardoin or something, steal some cakes to heal or something. Should be alright. The other question is going to be if the full rock shell is going to be weighing us down too much with all this running back and forth. We will see if we run out of energy. Then maybe we could put this away, go get Boots of Lightness or something. Not that run energy usually goes too bad. There's a lot of running back and forth. I guess it depends how good we get at managing the inventory stuff here. So we need to go noted 1, unnoted all. If we change this to not be all, it won't fill this like this. Let's just go to the X. We have to constantly switch between noted mode and unnoted mode though. That's definitely the slightly awkward part of this. Just different systems here. If we put in, the thing is we need to put in the amount for the pouches and then also the amount for the inventory. The pouches hold 18 and the inventory holds 19. So if we just do the right amounts as the X option there, that could work. We still need to have it, we wouldn't need to have it in the noted form if we only put in the correct amount in the first place. So I think that could work. And also, when the pouches degrade, we need to talk to the guy in the middle there to fix it. And then there's also magical thread. These do not exist. And they have decent value to them. So we could just sit in the bank on another account, constantly drop these when we get them. These are used to make rune pouches way in the future. Would be nice to have. Store our runes, 1 inventory slot. Wouldn't be too bad. Another thing to consider for the future, I guess. Oh, we got so many things. So many different sections of this. Back to Edgeville again. I need to drop this magical thread. There's always bank here. We could just have the other account available. What if we need to be logged in at the same time? It's a possibility. We just drop the thread here. High value, sure you want to drop it? Yes, because not a thing we can have. Yep, we should drop it. Change this X to 37. Deposit. Fill, fill, fill. And take the rest. There you go. That's not going to work if the pouches degrade, which could be a problem. But overall, that is the rune crafting that we're going to be doing here. We've got 4,000 essence to do. Got enough runes to do all the teleports here. In theory. So, run back and forth. Over and over again. Should be great. There's 52 rune crafting. And that is triple earth runes. I guess that's something. Really don't worry about triple other runes here. Also got another magical thread. If we need to keep on dropping these, it's going to be a lot of having a second account logged in here. I mean, for 500,000 coins each, I'm not complaining about it. I do have plenty of money. I'm not going to just throw 500,000 coins on the floor and not worry about it. Well, that's okay. 53 rune crafting. There you go. That is nothing whatsoever. At least we're getting some levels here. Rune crafting. Did not expect to have this much pure essence right now. It all works out. 54 rune crafting. There you go. That's law runes. Jumpers and law sounds are later. One problem with making law runes is that the law altar is on Entrana. So we can't just take the boat to Entrana and go make law runes if we have any equipment. Which currently not really a huge problem. If we stored the rock shell and the Cape of Legends, dropped the hatchet, actually could make law runes. We can also just buy law runes. We can also just buy nature runes, but the whole idea here is to have runes that we're actually going to be using here, not spending all the money on them. That's okay. We could also technically make them through the abyss, but again we need to get rid of the hatchet. Even just going to the law altar requires the same restrictions as Entrana, so would technically be a little bit more rune crafting XP, but I'd rather the nature runes. So we're just gonna keep going with what we're going with here. 55. Rune crafting. That is 6 times air runes. Wild. Later, wicked road bottoms, comet platforms, small rune crafting pouches, and 6 times spirit runes. We made air runes before, just because it was more convenient. But now with the abyss and everything, we can do better runes, so probably not going to be doing that. You can also just buy air runes, so magic combat, still a bit annoying, but better than it was before, I suppose. Anyways, definitely getting through the stack of essence here. Really stacking up the nature runes. 56. Rune crafting. Well, that is 5 times mind runes. 1, we don't craft mind runes. 2, mind runes are not really useful. So definitely not going to do that. 57. Rune crafting. That is 4 times water runes. Oh boy. Once again, don't really care about most of these multiple runes. Getting to actual double nature runes would be pretty great, but that is a very long ways off. Very, very long ways off. Getting close to done here, though. Getting through it. Going great. 58. Rune crafting. Amazing. Nothing unlocked whatsoever. We only have a handful of pure essence left here. That is the last level we're going to get. We're a little bit away from where we're going to need to be next for rune crafting, but the other plan that I had will easily get us over that line. But that's not for a while, because we don't need it for a while. And once we get to there, it is smooth sailing in rune crafting, which is fantastic. We will get to that much later. Just need to finish making these runes, then it's off to the next bit. And here is the last of the essence. Really made a lot of runes here, my goodness. Final stack of nature runes is 5,300, which is definitely way more than we should have made. What the whole bonus runes business. It also stacks and makes it more chance at bonus runes as you get to a higher level, so all those levels we got also helped making that happen. But with that, we now need to get the correct amount of runes out of here. We can't drop stacks or partial stacks. What we're going to need to do here is separate the nature runes here. So we have an extra 607. That's something. How much is all that worth? 44k? That might be out price. Hard to say. We'll drop it anyways. 600 nature runes on the ground. And nothing in the bank. There you go. Also ended up dropping 18 of those threads. So that was 9.1 million coins worth of stuff. Which is pretty wild. A lot more than we had in actual money. Don't need these pouches anymore. We'll get rid of these. I guess we probably should go and actually get our money back. That'd be helpful. Just to save it from being taken by our workers. Well, we need to get over that way. We don't have the Dramen staff or the Lunar staff to use the ferry ring to just get to Miscellanea here. So I suppose we are running from Sears Village and Camelot. Good enough. Get the money and go buy the next thing we need. You would think, with all these bowstrings, we would be off to go make some bows or something. We can do something to make that better, easier on ourselves. And that starts with getting a rune pickaxe here, and also a staff of fire. And this will let us go do some mining and smithing, which is fantastic. Also perfectly got rid of all of the runes, because we don't need those. We can just get going. Wield the staff for the fire runes, so we can superheat. Drop the mithril hatchet, worth nothing. We got the bowstrings, the nature runes, the pickaxe, and the coins. Technically we don't need the coins, but this is a much less inventory space sensitive process than rune crafting was. Travel distances, nowhere near as large. At least once we get there. So, having the coins on us, not a huge loss. Perfectly fine. We still have 24 inventory spaces, which is a lot more than we normally have. That's working fine. We definitely could have put the rock shell in the house, so we could run around with something slightly less heavy. Well, that's okay. We will get there. When we get there. And once we get there, run energy is not going to be a problem. Really need to be going pretty far for run energy to be a problem in RuneScape 3 here. Well, that's okay. Running up to our new and fantastic mining and smithing training location. Again, was not expecting to be doing this so soon here, but we got all the essence, made all the nature runes. We got more than we need for the other stuff. And it's a good idea to do this right now. Over in Jagex. We're just here, just a little bit ago. Everything is lining up nicely, except for the parts that aren't. We're making do with what we can, using updates as they come. Honestly, it's really working out pretty well. Let's go down into the mines here, where we have everything we need. Mithril. And coal. That's exactly what we want. Mine some mithril with our rune pickaxe and 78 mining. Should get the job done pretty easy here. Looks like it's going to be 2 swings. Maybe even 1 if we do a stronger hit. Mining and smithing rework continues to be an entire thing here. So basically, we mine a bunch of mithril, and then once we have a almost full inventory, see what these geodes do, they exist. Once we have all the mithril, besides 1, I suppose, we switch over to the coal rock. And then it is just a series of superheats. While the mithril only needs 1 coal, it would be 4 before the mining and smithing rework. But also all the XP rates and speed of making things changes too, so this is fine. Basically, we superheat a bunch of mithril bars down here in the mine. Try to get up with 1 empty space because where the coal was at. So a total of 22 mithril bars. I need a hammer here. That'd be helpful. They got any hammers in the stores here? They got smithing stores. Not really a general store. We need to go over to the... Nay, it's not. General store. They probably have a hammer. I'll look around for those. But anyways, then we smith on the anvil right here. That's perfect. Going to be making dart tips. Because anything else is just kind of not really worth it. Make any armor. Doesn't sell for anything. Because of the mining and smithing work, again. Could also do, like, arrow tips and make arrows instead. But then we would need to go get all of the arrow shafts, and that's a lot of extra for that. Darts are just easiest. Will mean we're going to need to get just a heap of feathers, though. So, we will worry about that once we get there. But yeah. Mithril. Dart tips. The first level on this expedition. 88 magic. The superheating does in fact give magic XP. That is Shadow Barrage and Telegroup Catherby. Later on, we get the Elite Seasinger Kiba and Makigai, Rapid Growth, and Crystallize. Not things we really super need right now. Elite Seasinger could be something in the future. That's an option. But for now, just more of this. Also do have the XP per hours here. Did a test and all that. It's about 12,500 mining, 14,500 smithing, and 6,000 magic XP per hour. So, not great, but it's 3 different skills, so it adds up to something. And it's about as good as we're gonna get, honestly. The whole mining and smithing rework really, really wants you to use level-appropriate ores, which don't exist yet. We're working with what we got here. Working with what we got. The next level. And again, not smithing. There is 79 mining. And that is 5% better critical swings. Sure. Mining and smithing rework. Yeah. Finally getting a smithing level in this smithing training idea here. There is 69 smithing. It's very nice because it is a quest requirement. And at this point, actually the closest quest requirement, time-wise, that we didn't already have. And also heating orichalcum 66% faster does not exist. Well, that's something. The next closest skill requirement that we don't have is for a skill that doesn't even exist yet. So, can't train that. Anyways. Just continuing here. Stacking up all the dart tips. By the amount of time that's going to take, we should be getting more progress here. The amount of experience per level is definitely different between the skills here. Magic at level 88, mining at 79. Definitely a lot more experience than getting from 69 to 70 smithing. It's wild how much more mining we have. That's okay. We will keep going. A bunch more hammering later. There is 70 smithing. Milestone, achievements, and unlocks. And that is many quest requirements here. We got King of the Dwarves. No, we'll just say quest requirements. We'll get to that when we get to it. And a mini quest requirement. Also, Necronium smelting and smithing, Necronium burial armor, and Catagon later. As for actual rewards for level 70, we could now make an adamant bar and an adamant dagger. Technically, could be better to go make some adamant stuff, but that also uses luminite, which isn't really real, So maybe we just stick with Mithril for now. I do have some higher level smithing goals for the future. If we stick here at the current XP rates that entire time and need nature runes for all of it, we'll see. For now, this is working. And even more hammering later. 71 smithing. That is heat cap of necronium raised by 50. Not a thing. But what it actually is adamant axes, which is fantastic. Don't need to get any boosts in order to make the adamant axe for all the woodcutting we're going to be doing very soon. Still have a few hundred more nature runes than bowstrings. Want to get that nice and even out here. Here it is, the final mithril bar being turned into dart tips. 99,700. That's a lot. Unfortunately, like with the nature runes before it, and all the other times we made dart tips, the recipe is actually 50 per bar instead of the 10 that's supposed to be. Which really is worth it because of how much longer it takes to do the individual smithing. Just to make fletching work better, but we only get the regular amount here. We could just use up the amount of dart tips that we're supposed to have and then drop the rest of it. Fundamentally, it doesn't make a difference either way. Let's just get what we're supposed to need here. These other ones shouldn't exist in the first place, so we will make them not exist. 79,760 mithril dart tips. Drop them on the floor. Another 32 million coins worth of things dropped off of this account. Of course, they're only actually worth that much to other players with the grand exchange and trading and all that. For our purposes, there would just be more fletching XP. But yeah, almost 20,000 dart tips. That's going to need feathers now. Also would have gotten a couple gems. Don't care about that at all. Those can go away. So now we've got nature runes, bowstrings, dart tips, coins, hammer and pickaxe, fire staff. I'm going to be keeping a lot of these things for the next step. That is going to be actually finally getting around to using these bowstrings. And that's going to be fletching. That's going to require woodcutting. We can now make that adamant axe, which is going to be fantastic. Also going to get a few other things together here. And start grabbing feathers from all the different stores. Because we need to go to all the different stores. Because we don't have infinite world hopping feathers. We're going to many, many places. Drainer Manor, Exeteria, Shiloh Village, the Fishing Guild, Relica, Port Sarum, Miscellanea, Shanty Pass. It's gonna take multiple days worth of shop resets. Well, it gets the job done here. So that's okay. And different armor set, different necklace. We got plans. Really can't get away from this smithing, can we? There is the adamant axe here. That'll be good. Don't need a lot of the rest of this stuff. We will high elk the rune pickaxe for a whopping 1,000 coins. Withdraw that. Make our rabbit foot necklace for, in theory, more bird nests for more seeds for farming. Don't need any of the ferrets or other bits of hunter stuff here. Don't need this hammer. Looking good. We got a lot of runes here. Mostly for the teleporting around to get the rest of the feathers we need. And also to get to places so we can actually do farming. We will see how that goes. As far as what we're going to be doing with all these bowstrings, it's going to be maple longbows. Technically shield bows, but same thing. With the way the woodcutting rework went, and yew trees being level 70 now, really too slow. Especially since we only have an adamant axe now. Even with the rune axe, it was already slower in every possible way. So, this is just going to work better for us. It's just very convenient here in Sears Village. The maple trees, the bank right here for getting all of the bowstrings unnoted. We've got 2,740 bowstrings that need to be dealt with here. Change the X to 9 for now. Bowstrings. Make, with the knife, maple shield bows. Make a couple. Run back and forth. Put the bowstrings on for double the fletching experience per log. And also increasing the value quite substantially. Regular unstrung bow with high elk for 192. Put a bowstring on it, and then it'll elk for 384. That's twice as much, just for having a bowstring here. So that's pretty nice. Could just about profit making these here and then alching them. Well, that would also require us just having bowstrings, so. Normally we don't have piles of noted bowstrings. It's only because of all that trekking. So, well, that's good. We're going to see exactly how much money we make here. It's going to be 384 times 2,740. So, exactly that number is how much money we're going to end up with. We can chop, make the bows, chop some more, go to the bank while alching stuff. Just need to keep the 9 and 9 going. I'll make this work pretty smoothly. But yeah. Good amount of woodcutting XP, good amount of fletching XP, and the woodcutting XP is boosted by the lumberjack outfit. We worked so hard to get it, might as well make use of it. Ultimately, all the XP we can get will be useful in the future. Changes are coming. But that's for later. Right now, we've got thousands of bows to make. I have to see how long this takes. The mining and smithing was like 16 hours. Yeah. This might be shorter, just because of how much less time it takes to actually assemble the bows here. Doing each individual smithing portion definitely took a process. Anyways. Level. Get 84 fletching. That's quite a bit. No unlocks whatsoever at 84. Unfortunate. We're making good money from this. As expected. Lots of XP. In fact, I actually have some numbers here for the XP. Roughly 30,000 woodcutting, 33,000 fletching, and 18,000 magic experience per hour. So that's pretty good, honestly. Getting the job done. A lot more XP than the mining and smithing was. Just so much faster. Different skills have different XP rates, so that's okay. 2,200 maple longbows in. It occurs to me that I do not have a knife. So, I'm gonna have a knife now. Fundamentally, it was right here. Now we're gonna change it to 8 per trip back and forth, I guess. Also bought more feathers. That's going well. And finally it's done. The last of the bowstrings. The last of the nature runes. About 10 hours for the woodcutting and fletching portion of this. Alking the last ones of these. All of this experience. Very good. Total cash stack looks like it's going to be 1 million and probably 51,000 coins here. Yep, there you go. That's a good chunk of money. It's going to be very, very helpful for purchasing a crystal bow from Islawin here. Hello again. One of your bows, please. 1 million coins new. A little bit more expensive than it should be, but also has more charges, so that's fine. Wield it. Yep. Got some upcoming things where a dragon halberd or anchor would really not be the right choice. Crystal bow. Very good. And the last thing we need to do here, make all these mithril darts. Still have to wait a little bit for more feathers to exist. That'll be done here pretty soon. Another big, nice chunk of fletching XP. There is 85 fletching. That's a pretty cool level for the magic longbow, shield bow. Unfortunately, getting magic logs is easier said than done. Very high level log these days. Also later, rock crushing, log splitting, whopper baiting, and memory crushing scrimshaws. Okay. Oh, the speed that we're going through these dart tips. All that time it took to make them, they're just becoming darts with a quickness. Be done with this pretty soon, honestly. Here's the last of the dart tips. All 19,940 of them fletched. We don't need any darts. We're just gonna sell them to a general store here on Lunar Isle, since we came here to get the lunar staff back. What do we sell these for? 7 each. Suppose we kind of want the money out of here so we can look at exactly how much it was. I mean, we go from 1,050,000 to... No, it says exactly how much it's gonna be. About 140,000. That's something at least. Definitely a lot less than it cost in nature runes to make them and everything. But kind of most of the point was the experience, let's be honest. All the money out here. The million that we spent on the crystal bow came from the inventory money instead of the money pouch. At any rate, rocking 4.4 million just about. That's a good amount. It's going to get slightly higher here, the next thing we do. But that is all the things from temple trekking dealt with. Very much, it is a use it or lose it system here, when we get piles of supplies. And so we decided to use it this time. Got some good levels out of it. Good progress towards things that's going to help in the future. That works. And it only took a lot of time. With all of that done, getting the last 1.2 million thieving XP will be a quick adventure. Next time. Goodbye.